Crypto Pirates Daily News, July 9, 2021. Latest news headlines. 7 golden tips for becoming a successful crypto trader. Cardano, Alonso, how far along are you? The owner of a $378 million Bitcoin fortune plans a 12-month search. Visa's new partnership with over 50 cryptocurrency exchanges. Can the SEC pursue Cardano or Polkadot in the future? Square is developing a hardware cryptocurrency wallet and service with the purpose of mainstreaming Bitcoin. XRP's use cases are essentially the same as Bitcoin, according to Ripple's CEO. Seven golden tips for becoming a successful crypto trader. Florian Debra, who was only 18 years old, embarked on an interesting journey in 2017 when he began investing in cryptocurrencies. Here's his take on it all. Cryptocurrency, I believe, is here to stay. That is why I have a cold wallet for the long term, which I always hodl regardless of the situation. I also trade weekly, which may be quite rewarding if done correctly. When the market declines, I instantly purchase as much as possible to increase my earnings. For the time being, I believe that we are still in a bull market. The market has been declining in recent weeks due to the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt surrounding Bitcoin. The objective is to buy low and sell high. If you are unfamiliar with all of this, you should know that some significant firms have invested in BTC. They have a compelling motivation to never sell or even purchase new ones, as the price continues to increase. This is why experts assert that cryptocurrency is the way of the future. The 7 Golden Rules. Florian Debra initially made a few costly errors. He doesn't want anyone else to make the same errors he did, because some individuals cannot afford to lose. That is why Florian Debra has chosen to share some extremely valuable advice with us. 1. Establish your own rules and adhere to them strictly. Developing your own trading rules enables you to avoid difficulties when you find yourself in a bind. Distractions and rule violations can be disastrous. 2. Maintain a healthy detachment from market gurus. Never be swayed by smooth rhetoric, as this is your money, and some people may be acting in their own self-interest, expecting that all the chatter finally fills their pockets. 3. Always conduct research before investing and do it at your own risk. Being informed and taking the appropriate steps by accurately evaluating the risk determines your success. 4. Profitable businesses generate profit. Investing in the correct firm or project and monitoring its monthly progress determines everything. Not every cryptocurrency will survive in the long run, therefore, choose carefully, as this is trading, not gambling. 5. Trading is 80% waiting and 20% action. Have the patience to wait until the coin reaches the desired level before selling. You should constantly wait for a market correction, then buy and repeat. A prudent trader is never fearful. 6. Invest on the dip. Maintaining a surplus of USDT allows you to purchase the dip. This technique enables you to increase your profits. 7. Never risk more money than you can afford to lose. Never immediately invest your hard-earned funds. Money loss is a devastating experience in and of itself. It is considered considerably more distressing when it is money that should not have been risked in the first place. Cardano, Alonso, how far along are you? Ignore the noise and focus on the facts. That is what Cardano's Hoskinson is telling his audience these days. Cardano, the third-generation blockchain coin, has generated considerable excitement in recent months as a result of its recent triumphs. Indeed, it was recently in the news after surpassing Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency, as the most held cryptocurrency on eToro's trading platform during the second quarter of the year. This was a significant milestone in the smart contract era, Goguen phase, and together with other advances in the ecosystem, the Cardano community is optimistic. IOC CEO Charles Hoskinson recently updated the cryptocurrency community on the project's progress, with a particular emphasis on Alonso's forecast. According to the chief executive, "We're making good progress with the rollout program, and we've begun onboarding additional SPOs and developers to Alonso White this week." To broaden the scope a little, Alonso is a planned upgrade that is on track to introduce Cardano's smart contract capability. Alonso is divided into 3 color-coded testnet phases: Alonso Blue, which launched on the 27th of May, Alonso White, and Alonso Purple. Having said that, there was a delay in Cardano's projected roadmap for the 1.2.8 node, which included validation corrections uncovered during a series of testing. "The next step will very certainly be available by Monday," he added, following the successful implementation of the aforementioned node. Additionally, Hoskinson reported that the project invited the Alonso Blue community testing team to nominate and recruit new members, a mix of experienced SPOs and developers, to the program in preparation for Alonso White. "We've now welcomed and begun onboarding these new users as well," he continued. However, what happens when these additional users are integrated? IOC stated on Twitter, "We'll begin expanding the Alonso test program's user pool from approximately 50 SPOs/external devs to approximately 250. This number will gradually increase to 500 plus in the coming weeks. Additionally, by the end of this month, full integration of the updated versions of the middle-tier components, including the Cardano wallet, DB Sync, GraphQL, and Rosetta, and early limited function versions of the Plutus backend will be finished." As previously mentioned, Hoskinson became a target of Twitter criticism after comments from a year ago outlining how forecasts for the network's adoption fell short of community expectations. Cardano, on the other hand, has traveled a great distance since then to juxtapose the doubters' aforementioned views. "Things are looking well, but we've uncovered some of the expected glitches and integration issues along the road and are working our way through them." Cardano has gained tremendous popularity throughout the years since its launch. From the NFT explosion to the Pioneer programs to the quick growth of its staking statistics, there is a lot of bullishness surrounding Cardano at the moment, a view echoed by the CEO of IOC as well. Smart contracts are on the verge of becoming a reality. Alonso is on its way, commercial operations have already begun, and more are on the way in the next 90 days. Cardano initiatives continue to be more reliable, mature, and methodical than other cryptocurrencies. The owner of a $378 million Bitcoin fortune plans a 12-month search. According to The Sun, a guy in the United Kingdom aims to trawl through 400,000 tons of garbage on a 200-meter square landfill to locate his missing hard drive, which contains £275 million, approximately $378 million, worth of Bitcoin. James Howells, who has been frantically hunting for his crypto fortune since 2013, wishes to use AI-powered scanners, X-ray scanners, and other cutting-edge equipment. The information technology specialist claims that his audacious idea has been backed financially by a hedge firm, which will take a piece of the massive cash. He has made contact with some of the world's greatest data recovery experts. I've also spent the last 4 or 5 months speaking with some of the world's greatest data recovery professionals to ensure we can retrieve it off the hard disk. Howells's several attempts to persuade the Newport Municipal Council to assist him in his search for the missing Bitcoin money were fruitless. His most recent attempt resulted in another refusal when he offered 25% of the total cash. The council's representative told The Sun that digging up the hard drive will incur enormous costs and pose severe environmental concerns, but there is no certainty that it will be discovered. Even if we were able to accede to his request, there remains the issue of who would bear the bill if the hard drive was lost or destroyed beyond recovery. Visa's new partnership with over 50 cryptocurrency exchanges. Visa Gaint Payment Services established a partnership with 50 cryptocurrency-related platforms to help them grow their businesses in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Recently, Visa's CEO indicated that the company will develop an infrastructure for cryptocurrency payments. They are doing so in order to conduct their financial infrastructure business in accordance with the needs of the public. According to Visa's report, their card services processed more than $1 billion in transactions during the first half of 2021. Couy Sheffield, Visa's head of crypto, revealed today the company's relationship with more than 50 crypto-related platforms, enabling customers to transact in cryptocurrency with more than 70 million merchants worldwide. These sites will make use of Visa's card payment gateways to facilitate quick crypto buy, sell and spend transactions. According to reports, the value of crypto assets held by individuals in regulated digital wallets has now surpassed hundreds of billions. As we can see, the Visa card business is prepared to integrate its services with any firm or service that will allow them to do so legally. If the Visa Corporation continues on this path with the same success rate, then within a year, Visa's platform will undoubtedly have a better crypto ecosystem than any other fiat-based payment provider in the world. Can the SEC pursue Cardano or Polkadot in the future? Around the world, regulatory concerns have been looming over cryptocurrencies and connected enterprises. With the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, accusing XRP of being a security and Binance facing widespread warnings, the crypto industry may wish to exercise caution. With the destiny of XRP being debated in court, other altcoins may wish to establish their digital asset status before the SEC comes knocking. Particularly those that have attracted significant investment from traders like Polkadot and Cardano. Can the DOT and the ADA evade the SEC's trap? According to the Securities and Exchange Commission, a security is anything that is sold or transferred for a price with the purchaser depending on the seller to raise the value of the item purchased. According to attorney Jeremy Hogan, the SEC has successfully argued that simply marketing a cryptocurrency in a particular way might establish that the seller and customer engaged in a similar venture for profit. Thus, we find that the concept has been extensively expanded during the last 80 years or more. Additionally, the SEC considers the majority of ICOs to be securities transactions, which has pushed a number of projects, including ADA and DOT, into the danger zone. According to Hogan, ADA avoided the legal problems associated with an ICO in the United States by conducting its ICO in Japan. Given the country's favorable attitude towards cryptocurrency, around 95% of the ICO was sold to Japanese people, with the remainder going to exchanges for distribution to the United States. The SEC lacks jurisdiction in Japan, and hence will be unable to seize Cardano for breaking the country's securities laws. This makes ADA a secure initiative, at least from a regulatory standpoint in the United States of America. However, The attorney continued, "The situation is not as favorable for DOT." The Web3 Foundation, which created and launched the Polkadot platform, held many initial coin offerings, ICOs, in 2017 and reportedly raised about $200 million to date. These ICOs occurred prior to the Polkadot platform being fully operational, which brings it closer to the SEC's definition. Hogan stated, "This is problematic because sales of the DOT coin appear to be more akin to an investment contract, with buyers relying on the developer's efforts to increase the token's value, because when tokens are sold before there is even a platform to use them on, the token's inherent value is zero, nothing, and thus you are relying on the developer to build the platform so that the coin has value." To compound problems, he noted that 50% of the original tokens were distributed to investors, while 8.4% were available to private sale investors, such as exchanges. On the contrary, 11.6% was retained by the Web3 Foundation for future fundraising reasons, while 30% was provided to Web3 for infrastructure development and construction. Unfortunately, while it may sound negative, the Web3 Foundation is a non-profit organization based outside the United States of America. As a result, it is exempt from the SEC's regulatory jurisdiction. Additionally, ICO sales were prohibited in China and the United States of America due to the same regulatory concerns raised by the SEC. All of these defenses will be invoked if the SEC initiates an investigation into exchanges regarding the determination that DOT was marketed in the nature of a security. If an exchange within the country did sell DOT in accordance with the terms of its initial coin offering, the SEC's hammer may fall. Crypto projects may choose to begin planning their response in light of the SEC's recent moves. While the ADA may be able to avoid the SEC's regulatory snare, the DOT may not be so fortunate. Only time will tell whether it is truly reprimanded by regulators. Square is developing a hardware cryptocurrency wallet and service with the purpose of mainstreaming Bitcoin. Square CEO Jack Dorsey talks at the Bitcoin 2021 convention in Miami, Florida on June 4, 2021. Square executives said Thursday that the company is developing a hardware Bitcoin wallet and software solution. Square's goal, according to hardware head Jesse Doroguska, is to making Bitcoin custody more common. In June, CEO Jack Dorsey detailed the company's initial thoughts on the idea. Square executives acknowledged Thursday that the company is planning to build new Bitcoin solutions. "We've chosen to develop a hardware wallet and service in order to make Bitcoin custody more accessible. We will continue to pose and respond to open-ended inquiries," Jesse Doroguska, Square's hardware head, stated on Twitter. That said, at Jesse Doroguska, I and the rest of the team will listen and carry on the conversation. And if we decide to construct, we'll create a dedicated Twitter and GitHub account. When that information becomes available, we will update this topic. Thanks, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Square and Twitter, responded. Dorsey stated in a lengthy Twitter thread in June that his fintech company was considering producing an open-source hardware wallet, explaining the company's thought process and soliciting feedback from the cryptocurrency developer community. Doroguska said Thursday that such replies resonated and convinced the company to begin with a globally distributed, mobile-friendly, multi-signature wallet, supporting Dorsey's June description of a security and inclusivity-focused solution. Square is developing a small, cross-functional team managed by Max Guys to oversee product development and wants to employ for roles in hardware, software, security, and business, according to Doroguska. Dorsey has always regarded Bitcoin as a passion project, notably declaring at the Bitcoin 2021 conference in June that he would leave Square and Twitter to work on Bitcoin initiatives that required more help than the two firms he currently leads. XRP's use cases are essentially the same as Bitcoin, according to Ripple's CEO. Matt Hamilton, Ripple's Director of Developer Relations, claimed on social media that XRP was created by Bitcoin developers as a better version of the cryptocurrency after they discovered Bitcoin's energy consumption was not scalable, and that XRP's use cases are basically identical to Bitcoin. Hamilton made the remarks while arguing with other users on the microblogging network Twitter that XRP is not a centralized cryptocurrency. During the conversation, he stated that XRP is exactly like Bitcoin in terms of decentralization. Hamilton also noted that the cryptocurrency's blockchain, the XRP ledger, has approximately 150 validators and that transactions on it are public, just as they are on the Bitcoin blockchain. In a later tweet, the Ripple executive stated that the business does not control XRP and that XRP Ledger was the first DEX, decentralized exchange, and hence the first DeFi application. The CEO presents data demonstrating that XRP Ledger nodes are scattered globally in an attempt to debunk allegations that Ripple controlled the majority of the network's nodes and that the network was excessively centralized. Ripple, on the other hand, is a corporation dedicated to promoting XRP. Ripple appointed veteran MasterCard executive Cindy Young as managing director of its European operations last month in an effort to develop the company's global financial network technology RippleNet, which utilizes the XRP currency for its on-demand liquidity (ODL) solution. The value of XRP has been significantly impacted by the SEC's complaint against Ripple and two of its executives, alleging they raised over $1.3 billion through an unregistered, ongoing digital asset securities offering. According to at least one expert, Ripple's settlement with the SEC could result in a supply shock for XRP, which would presumably result in a price spike as demand remained constant but supply decreased. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this video. Please let us know your opinion in the comments area below. If you found our content useful, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more crypto-related contents.